Hello and welcome. This is Carol Bettis coming to you from, actually, I am in Sparta, Kentucky. We're traveling to Niagara Falls and to Canada. So I'm excited to be here. I want to tell you, Steve Smith had put a post on the forum about a world summit, and I had clicked on that and filled out the information to receive more information on that. I'm trying to get my video on. So, okay. Am I looking at the mirror now? I think so. I'll try it this way. Okay, this may be distorted, but anyway, I filled out the form for the World Summit, and I put my website as something to trade, Carol Bettis with Frega, and I sent it off, and in 24 hours, I had a respond back wanting to talk with me on a Zoom call. And they asked me when would I want to do it, and we scheduled it for Monday morning at 9 o'clock. And I had put a message to Patty if he would be available if they wanted to talk with him, and he said, sure. Well, we spent 2 hours talking on that call, and it was very, very good. They were very interested in what we were doing, and Patty and I were both interested in what they were doing, and we're going to be working together. I think it was Patty's going to be on dealing with the technical, and I'm going to be kind of the go-between person at the present time. And because of my nursing background, they had a physician that was in Africa, I believe, that they asked if I would be interested in working with her, which I said I was. So I will give you more on that when we get more information, but it was very, very promising. So Steve, thank you for putting that information on the post, because I think it's going to lead to something that we'll all be proud of. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Anita, and then I assume Steve Crummy will go, and then Patty.
Thank you, Carol. Good morning, everyone. I'll just share my screen. Please let me know when you can see it. Now, where's the document gone? Oh, dear. One moment. Okay, it should be here. Can you see this document?
It's up, Anita.
Oh, great. Thank you. Right, it's been a very challenging 2 weeks with the server migration.
Carol, Anita, what's up are your notes. It's not the document. It's the notes. It's your OneNote is up, not the actual document.
Oh, okay. Won't be a moment.
Okay, we'll there.
No, won't be a moment. Oh dear.
That's it.
I had it all ready to go. Okay, how's that?
That's
perfect.
Good.
Okay, thank you. Now, sorry, please bear with me for a moment. Right. It's been a very challenging 2 weeks with the server migration and the first team build on the new platform, so thanks everyone for your patience. We have met with Yoti this week, and we will be integrating the KYC process, and this will come into play when a member goes to make a payment, request a payment, or withdraw funds. So what will happen is a QR code will pop up that the member will have to scan with their mobile phone, prompting them to download the Yoti app. So what happens is the member will take a selfie, include their photo or driving license. Yoti will verify that they are a real person. Facial technology will match the documents to the user's selfie, and by the way, all personal information is encrypted. So once everything's been matched, Yoti will send a token back to us to tell us that the user has been verified, and then the user will be able to continue to make or request a payment or withdraw funds once you have the banking apps in place. So that's the process. It's very simple and easy to do, and we're very pleased that we're going with Yoti. So if you want to have a look when I post the document later, you can have a look through this process And the same with the back-end functionality. I'm not going to take you through it now, but you can have a look when you go through. Basically, Yoti is currently in 160 countries, and I've included the link here for you to go through and see, directly go to their website, see what they do, how they do it, what other companies are using them, etc. So there's the link there, and you can have a look at that in your own time. Frega World. Now, with the new technology we're using, we've had a little bit of teething problems, but I'm going to show you the process as it should be, so that when you go to use it, if it's not like this, you'll understand that something's gone wrong, and we're in the process of looking at it. So we've got the landing page here, and we will be doing a horizontal scroll for these tokens. So that'll be through on Monday. You'll either log in or register. So when you log in, you'll come to the welcome page, and you'll see the link, the sharing link here, that you can copy and paste that onto any form of, you can copy and paste it onto a Word document, you can send it in an email, you can do whatever you like with that link. So I'll come back to that a bit later. So if you click on the About screen, this is where you'll see the videos, and we will change that wording there. Thanks to everyone that's let us know about that. And this is coming back to the shared link. From a logged in position, you can copy and share that link. As I mentioned, it can be emailed or placed on advertising material. So when the receiver clicks on the link in the email or enters it into the browser, they will be brought to the site in a logged out position. Should they choose to register, they'll click on the Register tab. Same registration process throughout the whole system. They'll enter a minimum of 4 and a maximum of 16 letters or numbers, and that's the code, 4-digit PIN, email, password, and they'll click Register. Now what happens is they will receive a success pop-up. A confirmation email will be sent to them. They'll click on the link, and they'll be brought to the page where they'll enter their password and confirm their password and submit. Then they'll be brought to the site in a logged in position, and they'll have these tabs here which will take them through to the other site. So I'll just mention at the moment, when you click on these tabs, you're not being auto-logged into the other site. So we'll have that fixed on Monday or Tuesday. So just bear that in mind. If you click on those tabs and you go to the other sites, you will have to log in. If this is the first time they've registered in the ecosystem, they will be linked to the sender. So the server migration issues, the issues in progress from the server migration, we still have this something to trade images. So if you have created an advertisement on something to trade and you have not re-uploaded your images, please do so. There are still advertisements showing with no images. And if this is still the case in 7 days, we will deactivate these advertisements, and the member will need to relist them with added images. So please check to see if yours are one of the ones that's not displaying an image. Ask the seller a question. The seller's reply to the buyer's question is not processing. And also load a product is bring up a blank page, so you'll need to refresh the screen and the error will self-correct. Code PIN pop-up. Code PIN prompt is intermittent when displaying the code PIN registration functionality on existing accounts. Sorry, there's a typo there. That do not already have a code and PIN, and we apologise for any inconvenience this is causing. Please bear with us. This is a learning curve for all of us, and while it's frustrating, the benefits outweigh the negatives 1,000-fold. We've had a little bit of settling in to do, and we're already seeing the benefits with the registration emails, and we're expecting that in the course of next week we will have found our feet, and we will be moving forwards at a very good rate with less issues we've had in the past. So just to note, at the moment there are changes happening at regular intervals, so until we stabilise, if you have an issue, please clear your browsing history and retest. This in most instances will fix the issue, but if it doesn't, just bear in mind that it is a work in progress. If you want to log it, please do. That would be much appreciated. So thanks everyone. I'll hand you over to Steve, and we'll take it from there.
Anita, thank you. Can everybody hear me well?
Yes.
Okay, good. So before I start, I'm really glad to hear that we have a deal done with Yoti. I mean, this is the way to do it. They've already done it. Why recreate the wheel? I think it's going to be very sophisticated. It's going to speed it along. So whoever did that, congratulations. It was the right thing to do. And it's a lot of work, and why not, work with someone who's already done it. So thank you, whoever did that. I want to start off by saying 2 weeks ago, I missed this call. I was on a ferry, and it's just, goats and pigs and kids and dogs around there, but no Wi-Fi connectivity. So I apologize for that. So we haven't talked in a few weeks. This is, in the U.S., this is what they call the dog days of summer. Labor Day is on Monday. And after that, we are going to be incredibly busy. Not that we haven't been in the last 2 weeks, and I'll take you through some of that. But I can tell you that from Labor Day on, it's going to be crazy in a very positive way. And as Patty alluded to earlier on, he and I and Mandy will be in Los Angeles, not next week, but the week after, for some very important meetings on the 11th and 12th of September. And I think all of you know what that's about. I went back and I read through, because I'm a slow learner. I got to read things 2 or 3 times. And I read through the ICO document, remember the one Patty put out about 2 weeks ago, I think it was 3 weeks ago, something like that. And I would encourage you to go back through that again. There's an awful lot in there, and I particularly am talking about the 6-minute segment. It talks about McKinsey, if you remember the link I'm referring to. It's a 6-minute video. And the guy who's talking, his name is Don Topscott. He was the host, one of the main speakers of that consensus blockchain meeting I went to in May in New York. And if you listen to him, I really, really think he's smart. And I like him because he's not a futurist. He's not a John Nesbitt or a George Orwell. Futuristic guys usually are dead by the time what they predict is wrong anyway in the future. This guy is a real meat potatoes, down to earth, very, very savvy guy. So I would encourage you to listen to it. It's only 6 minutes, but the net takeaway is his view is the whole technology stack of the internet for Web 3.0 will be blockchain, period. End of conversation. Everybody knows that. There's no surprise there. We all know that. The second thing he says, and others will say, but it's going to take time to get there. We know that too, all right? There's no new news there. Frederick Smith came on. He's not on the video, but he was on the conference, and I talked about this some time ago. He's the chairman and founder of FedEx. He said that the global supply chain business is a $60 trillion industry, not billion, trillion. And there is no way that Federal Express is going to sit on the sidelines. The first thing he said, okay, fine. The second thing he said is our biggest problem is cross-border friction. Blockchain will solve that. So here's a real example of how blockchain is going to solve their biggest problem with is cross-borders. You've got customs, you got VAT, you got drugs, you got criminals, you got languages, you name it. That's what they're going to do with blockchain, semicolon, but that's going to take time also. All right, so just, again, listen. I want you to listen to that video. I'm going to tie this all together in just a second as to why I'm talking about that. I kept in touch with 4 people that I met at that conference, and I talked to them about once every 2 months. And I talked to them to get ready for this call. And it's a very simple conversation. How you doing, blah, blah, blah. How are you doing on your application? They say, oh, we're doing fine. It's blockchain, blah, blah. I said, well, what problem are you trying to solve? They said, well, it's blockchain. Yeah, I said, I know it's blockchain, but what are you trying to do? What's the value proposition of what you're doing? And honest to God, I couldn't get a straight answer. I got all this mumbo jumbo. Well, it's blockchain, it's crypto. No one could answer the simple question, what problem are you trying to solve? Like Frederick Smith did at Federal Express. Now, just think about this for a minute. Next week sometime or the week after, I'm not quite sure of all the dates, we're going to have a relaunch. A lot of new functionality is going to be in the software. When people say, if we went around right now, there's 36 of you online and said, what's the value proposition for Frega? Every single one of you would have the right answer. I know that for sure, so we won't have to do that. But think about it this way. We're going to be probably the first blockchain, maybe not the first 5 real blockchain applications in the market solving real customer needs. We don't have to do the mumbo jumbo. We're thinking about this. We have a product. It's been successful. It's going to be wildly more successful with more functionality coming very soon because of all the hard work all of you have done. It's not going to take a lot of time. The damn thing is here now. So when we start to roll this out and with the PR and all the other things that are going on, fasten your seatbelts because we have a real solution using blockchain technology and our own coins to solve a real need in the marketplace where I can guarantee you 95% of the vendors are still trying to figure out what are they going to do with blockchain. They cannot answer the application. They cannot answer the value prop. Therefore, they don't have an answer. What you get is, well, we're doing smart contracts and we're doing, identity, blah, blah, blah. And we're spending $20 million trying to figure that out. So just think about where we are and more importantly, where we're going, because this is within the top 5 blockchain applications that are going to be in the market in a very, very big way. So I wanted to start off by, saying that, because you should feel awfully good about getting into a market early on that's explosive, that's going to have a lot of growth, that's going to take some time, but we've cut that time significantly, and here we are very, very soon. The new features are going to be awesome. I've also said this before, and I'm going to say it again in a very short way. I think these internal calls are great like we're doing. It's a good communications flow, good Q&A. I know there's other calls during the week, and I think they're necessary. But I got to tell you something. When the calls start to turn into customer calls and feedback from customers, and customers are telling us how they like the UI or they don't, how easy it is to navigate or it isn't, how easy it is to sign up or it isn't, that's where we're going in a very short fashion. And those kind of conversations, to me, I get very excited about, because they're the one generating revenues. And I think it's important to have their input into the process. So that is imminent. We will now have not only our internal calls, but also our external calls with people who will tell us what they think of the product and how to make it better, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that, I think, that's going to change this company. It's going to change from internal to, yes, some internal, but more external. This is where we want to get to. The last thing I'm going to say, and then I'll be quiet. I've read over that document, as I said, and you think about all the calls we have. We're trying to explain to each other what Invest Plus is and crypto equity release and this and that and the other. And, most of us understand it to some degree. Patty obviously understands it better than anyone. But remember, the trick is we got to get this message out to the real world. My mother in Idaho needs to understand this, which is the reason a PR firm is so important, is to take complexity and make it simple. So I want to talk for a minute just about Invest Plus. I don't know if Armin is on the phone. Armin's one of our guys that helping us down in Florida. But Armin has these restaurants he's calling on. And I want to tell you what he told me. And Armin, if you're on the call, and if I'm wrong, feel free to correct me. But this is what I heard from you. This is about, oh, you're there. Good. Thank you. So we're going to propose this to some restaurants in Southern Florida. And I guarantee you when it's up and running well, it's going to just go like a bat out of hell. But what I'm told is, first of all, there's 2 choices. Let's just use restaurants just to make this simple. I'm a simple person. A restaurant, they have customers, they serve food. Right? Either they have a loyalty program or they don't. My advice is, if they don't have one, don't waste your time. Go to those that do have one. You don't need to fight uphill. You don't want to push the rock uphill all the time. Go to somebody that already has one. So these restaurants that Armin's talking about has one. And it's a typical analog, ridiculous program. Clip a coupon, get 10% coverage on what if you buy a $10 meal, you get $1 the next time you're in town, if you ever remember to keep the thing in your wallet. And the cost to the owner, this is the key thing, the cost to the owner was 9% of gross revenues. Armin, am I correct on that?
Yes, 9%.
Okay, think about this. 9% of his revenues are going to some dipshit analog program where the coverage Armin gets is 10% on the dollar. And just think about that for a minute. 9% of gross revenues, analog program to cover 10% of the dollar. So I go in and spend $30 the next time. If I remember, I got $3. Like, I don't give a shit. I'm not going to waste my time. This is what he's dealing with down in Florida. Now, think about what we do. As you know, the Invest program is anywhere from 0.5% of the merchant's revenues to up to 5%. 5% gets the user 100% coverage. 0.5% gets 10% coverage. So think about this. He's paying 9%, and Armin's getting 10% value. We could do the same thing for 0.5%, or better yet, if we take 5% of his revenues, he will get 100% coverage. Now, do you know how many restaurants are out there that look that same model? Think about that. I'm trying to make this as simple as I can. So the decision maker is the restaurant owner, period. If he believes that, he or she believes that number and understands the value of digital coins, et cetera, this to me will be all right. Let me start smaller, and if I like it, I'll open it all the way up. It's a no-brainer in my opinion. The argument, think about this. The argument is, well, what do I do with the coins? The truth is, if there's not a great volume, you can trade coins right now. They're being traded every day on our site. Not a lot of them. But if I want to trade out 2 or 3 coins because I just had a big meal and I got 100% coverage, I can do that with today's volume. So no more of this, well, wait, and we got to wait for the coins to mature. No, that's only true if you have big volume. It's not true at small volume. So we're going to take that off the table. That objection should come off the table. They could trade them today if they wanted to. So I'm going through that for a very simple reason. I think that's the best program we have, in my humble opinion. The number of companies that do rewards programs are staggering. So therefore, don't waste time with those that don't have them. It's not worth the energy. Those that do have them, if Armin's model is true, and it is, because he says it is, and he's a smart man, we have a value prop that could save this merchant a ton of money, create loyalty, give coverage of up to 100% to the users who can put coins in their wallets and trade those coins. That's the message we need to get out. I'm sorry I went on that, but I'm excited about it because I like to deal with real world problem solving, and that's what Invest Plus is. So with that, Patty, it's all yours, my good man.
Thank you. Thank you, Stevie boy. It's always great, and I'm looking forward to being with you soon, my friend.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Right.
Send me your itinerary when you get a chance, by the way.
I will certainly do that. It's been hectic. Okay, picking up on what Steve said there, you know, I'd just like to sort of just recap a bit. You know, we've been working very, very hard in the last while, but in particular, Frega Hub or Frega World is the first part of a whole bunch of things that we've been working on for some months now that are going to be being released in quick succession certainly during the course of September. You're going to see some even more coming through. So while we had crypto equity released last week, we've had our first test case, and we've actually made a few changes to the model. And Steve, Smith, thanks for giving it a shot and putting it up there. It's really been great. But you know, Frega World is the first go-to-market tool we have where you're going to be able to log on, you're going to be able to get that link, and you're going to share it and get your friends out there. We've got some really good videos, and Jonathan, thank you very much for what you've done here. Jonathan his voice is like liquid gold, you know. So and Jonathan has just been an absolute star, and the quality we can all agree is fantastic. So we've got the material, we've got the marketing material. The next thing you're going to see, and it's something that we've been working on for some weeks now, is Frega Hub. Frega Hub works in conjunction with Frega World. Frega Hub takes the bad things that I feel of Facebook, which is quite a lot, and we've really gone and emphasized and made the good things in social. We're really going to change the face of social. But what we're going to do is, the way Frega Hub has been written and prepared, it's got a much broader functionality. It's certainly going to become the communication portal for our site. So once you log on to Frega Hub, from there we're going to hook into the chat, we're going to hook into the group chat, we're going to include in that, we're going to bring in Zoom chat, or all the Zoom functionality into that. So there's a lot of things that are going to be happening, but you're going to see, I'm not sure the exact sort of timeline now, but I certainly know we've done a lot of the work already for the first beta release of Frega Social or Frega Hub, and that's really going to be very, very good. What we also are going to do is, we've done a fair bit of work on the mentorship and the global support functionality, but you know, we again, not completely ready yet, but for where we are, we're very happy with the progress. But as you've noticed in all this material that we're going to be producing now, we're going to get a lot of more people coming into the ecosystem. And certainly from when Invest Plus is released, every single customer is going to go to investplusclaim.com. They're going to be drawn to register to claim their tokens or their 100% value that they've been given. There's a very, very compelling reason why they're going to do that. And when they do that, you know, that's going to bring them into the ecosystem. We're going to bring them into Frega World. They're going to start asking questions. What is this? What's happening? And that's when we will pair them off with the mentorship. Now, we've done a lot of work on the mentorship. We had that past experience of how the mentorship worked, and we picked up a lot of that, and we've made some advancements to it. But in the interim period, until we've actually got the mentorship up and running, as I say, a lot of it has been done already. But until then, we are going to sort of tailor any inquiry when people are looking for a mentor. We're going to get them through Contact Us. So we'll do the global support will pick up on that and help where we can. And certainly, thank you much for the global support team already that's rallied to the cause. But it's all part of our strategy. Everything is ready to start turning on the screws to make things work. The important component of we're going to also make the plan is obviously going to be a central part of getting people to who become active, for them to subscribe to the plan. It's a natural consequence, because, you know, any mentor that ties up with a mentee, the first thing they're going to say, well, how do I get to better utilization? How do I improve my benefits from being part of the Frega ecosystem? And the first thing they're going to be directed to do is to subscribe to the plan. We've refined the process in terms of costings, but where it used to be based on a flat £25 one-off to become a subscriber to the plan, if you're based in the didn't matter where you were based. Now it's 25 units of the principal currency of your domicile, and we do pick that up from the domicile when you log in. So if you were based in South Africa, for example, it'll be 25 rands. If you were in Nepal, it'll be 25 Nepalese rupee. If you're in India, it'll be Indian rupee, and so on. So if you're in Vietnam, it'll be the 25 dong, etc. So, you know, it picks up the currency of that country, but it's very, very important, because it does double the number of numbers that contribute to their financial well-being. And as you know as well, as soon as you do subscribe to the plan, we also give you a matching amount of additional tokens, which we've seen already increases value. So that's been pretty good. So the plan is very important. Frega Mobile, we've done a lot of work on Frega Mobile. We've consciously sort of held back in doing some of the more complicated part of the coding. So what we've done is we've done the sort of updated the specking, because when we released Frega Mobile, we want it to be used as the tool that's also used when we start using payments with digital currencies as well as fiat currencies. So the Frega Mobile is going to be released with quite a bit of additional functionality to what the original plan was, but because you don't want to keep on amending it, we're going to make sure it's ahead of the time. As I say, Invest Plus is very, very important. We've done the equity release one already. That's going to be something that we're going to put all our resources in this next week. We're going to start pushing it to get it out. There is a few variations to a theme, and I've started to sort of touch on that already on the forum, but there will be a phase 1 to the Invest Plus and then a phase 2, but certainly it's a big driver. It's an obvious value proposition, as Steve correctly pointed out. It's very easy to implement. You know, a company that's let's say a restaurant that's got an existing point system, all they would have to do in order to get people to be subscribed to the subscribe to the ecosystem to get their tokens is at the bottom of their till slip. They'll just print their, you know, to go and claim your tokens now, go to investclaim.com, type in the invoice number or the receipt number from the restaurant and the amount, and it'll be waiting then for them to claim it. So there's nothing technical about it. They would probably staple some sort of A5 little book, a pamphlet to it to motivate them to go to the website when they get home. And because the value proposition is very clear, you know, if the promotion is material is pretty good and says, you know, get a full refund of what you've just spent at the restaurant, I can assure you it's not one of those pieces of paper you throw away. So we've got it all sort of cased and worked out. That's going to be very good. But this current sort of body of stuff that we've been working on, being the Frega Hub, Frega Social, Frega Mobile, the mentoring system, Invest Plus, Equity Release, all these are very, very important. They've been working together, and they're going to work together as a whole. The other thing that you know we've been working on is to get the syndicated tables out. It's very important that we get across the commercial value of being a part of a syndicate partner because of we want to anybody who subscribes becomes a syndicate partner in those applications. We want to blow the lights out. We want them to be so successful, and it's going to be successful. You know, when you consider the take up on these applications, we were sharing 10% of the revenue with our syndicate partners. The syndicate partners are going to be able to go to the syndicate exchange, and they're going to be able to sell some of the nano and nanos of the units that they've bought to recover their original investment and go into the next syndication. But it's very, very important that we create a very, very healthy appreciation of the value of investing in that syndicate units. Because once we've got that successfully deployed and explained, and people can see how strong it's going to be as a very good return, that will lend us to AppFest, where we're going to release the third-party development app library, as you know, where our strategy between now and the end of the year is to obviously finish off all the apps we're working on, but from the new year, our own technical team won't be developing as such the applications ourselves anymore, but our emphasis is going to rather work with third-party developers who would be interfacing with us, using all our APIs and our tools, and we see third-party developers bringing online thousands of programs in a year, much faster than we as an individual team can even produce them. Because every time we get more applications coming into the library, they will bring within them, within the ecosystem, their members, and it immediately gives a value proposition to our existing members. Again, with the mentors aren't going to be expected to understand, fully appreciate all the new apps that are coming up there, but the mentors will be given access to tools, and main function is to be able to show people when they come on where to go and find the applications, and that will be in the app library, AppFest library. We will have Frega.works, which will give you a lot of case study material on how that works, and a lot of that material we've actually got ready already, so it's really exciting. So that's very, very important. You're also going to see Ecovita is going to start paying its own in part as soon as Frega Mobile starts, because that's when you're going to start delivering the deal of the day type specials, which are Ecovita specials on mobile, profiled to specific audiences. Again, it's going to tie back into the financial gateway where you can affect the payments for that. So it's all sort of coming into place now. So you will find that Frega World will be a place where an increasing number of people will choose to manage all their communication, or a principal portion of their communication, and they're going to choose to use our applications in preference to any other, for the simple reason that it's all part of Freakonomics, and it's going to enhance their ability to be financially emancipated. But don't forget, our whole principle the whole purpose of Frega is to, our philanthropic purpose is to financially emancipate every single disenfranchised community in the world. And we're going to do that not just by saying we're going to do it. We're going to do it by the fact that we are able to provide a value proposition for somebody who goes to have a meal, who is prepared to support that merchant and get 100% refund of the money they've spent in the form of retirement, or 41K, okay, 401K. So, at the end of the day, we've got a lot of reasons why people are going to, be in the center of their units. People are going to start using our applications, and the consequence of that, it's going to spin off through to the members that everybody in the world. So it's very important. Now, another thing that I really wanted to share with you, and it's something that it's been sort of on my heart, and I've been thinking about it hard a lot. And that is, I want to actually demonstrate something through to you. I'm just going to stop sharing and just bring it up. And this is something that Jonathan's been working on with me and Anita this week. I'll just sort of see if just tell me if the shared screen's up again. Won't be a sec. Okay, do you see the shared screen?
Yes, it's up.
Okay. There's something I just want to bring to everybody's attention, and it's something that it's the elephant in the room, and I want to talk about it. It's been something that we all know about. When Mandy and I left New Zealand in 2013, or at the end of 2013, to come to the UK, we came here with a specific mandate, and that mandate, which was given to us from when we had that meeting on the North Shore, we said, we're going to come to the UK, we're going to set out to go and at that stage we're hoping we're going to be listed on the London Stock Exchange. We hope that there's a lot of things that we were looking to achieve, and a lot of people had made the commitment and the faith in us, and they invested money with us. Okay, now I just want to do a little bit of an exercise and just show you what's actually happened since that time that's occurred. Now, if $1,000 was invested on the 30th of September 2013, because that's when we started to raise the money just before we left to come to the UK. For every $1,000 that was invested, it was 5 years ago today. Okay, sorry, 5 years ago to almost a month today. It's another month from now, you'll be 5 years, sorry. But what we then did was, if you recall, in October 2015, we passed a resolution. We realized that we needed to find a new way of passing value through on the money that is invested. And what we did was we agreed that we would convert, for every dollar that had been invested, we would give 70 real Stu shares, which we did. So for the $1,000, you would have got a 70,000 real Stu shares. On the 1st of March 2017, we awarded a further, we then did something else. We bought out the Frega crypto tokens, and for every $2 that had been invested in the real coin warrants, we actually awarded everybody a crypto token. So, in other words, for your $1,000 in Frega crypto in your real estate investment, you would have got 500 Frega crypto tokens, and then, as you know, 20% of that. Okay, we then went sorry, I took a little bit of a mistake there to do a calculation there. We then went and actually gave everybody Frega crypto, sector tokens. Now I've got 200 here, but we're going to end up with 30 tokens. So I'm just going to just concentrate on it now. But basically what's happened is if you look at what everybody got by investing in real estate, and I did a bit of an exercise. Now we're only showing 19 of the tokens now, but there's going to be more than 30. So I did a bit of a calculation, and I looked at what the current trading prices are, and guess what? The total return to date is £32,000. So the same investment, and I always keep in mind, I haven't factored in the fact that there's 11 more tokens to come through. I haven't factored in the fact that there is, we're also paying a dividend on that. And I haven't factored in that for every crypto equity release token that's released from now onwards, you would also get a further 20 nanos. But basically, over the last 5-year period, if you took a 5-year period, the total return on investment per annum for that $1,000 invested is 1,262% per annum. That's what the return has been for the last 5 years. So, the question has been, was my investment a good investment? Well, first of all, the investment was designed for the specific purpose of us being able to get a commercial return on what we plan to do in the UK. What we have accomplished we passed the resolutions, we did this in consultation with everybody. What we have accomplished in this last 5 years, and it's been a long 5 years, it's been a hard 5 years, we've actually got to the point that we've now got a return on everybody that's exceeded 1,200% per annum. So, I do feel that we need to address that. I think it's been unfairly sort of criticized that nobody's really got a decent return on their money. I disagree with that. I think we need to sort of deal with the elephant in the room. And what we're going to do on Frega.world, we're going to give a lot more detail. We're going to give chronologize a sequence of events that occurred since the day we left the UK. We're going to show a little bit of a history, how we started way back in the garage in 2009, and all the various steps that we took, the decisions we took, and all the decisions we took. And they keep in mind, we've made all these decisions in consultation with everybody, and where we are today. And I just feel it's something that needs to be addressed. I am very confident that the decisions we took, while I've always made the commitment that if I make a commitment to somebody, I'm fully fledged and certainly committed to meet my obligations, and that's what I have done. And it's something that Mandy and I strongly believe in. But I just feel that we just need to address the point that while it's taken 5 years, it's taken a long time, and it's taken longer than any of us expected it to happen. But the point is, it's happened, and we've now reached a point where I'm confident that we've actually set out to achieve. And so, what I'm going to do is on the Frega World site, we're going to sort of create a page where we're going to actually show every single decision that we took from the day we left New Zealand. Every decision we took, we're going to build it up as a bit of a narrative, as a journey to where we are today. And we're going to demonstrate that when we made decisions, when we converted our original shares in order to 70 units, and when we went and converted all that we gave people tokens, and we keep in mind that those tokens are earning dividends. And do you know that if the person who invested $1,000 today, they only have to sell 1.6%, I think, of their current portfolio, and they will actually get a full refund of their initial investment. So, I feel to say that it hasn't been a good one. Well, guess what? We've delivered on everything we said we're going to deliver. Did we list on the London Stock Exchange? No, we didn't. Was there a guarantee we would? There was never a guarantee for anything. But I just like to make the point that anybody that does when we make commitments, and we especially when it comes to investing in money, whether you're investing money in real stew, or whether you're investing money in Frega crypto tokens or syndicate units, we meet our commitments, and we do deliver on what we say we're going to do. And another point I need to make is our whole policy, our whole philosophy from day one, as you know, is that the principal owner and controllers of Frega and Realstu is the trust. And Mandy and I and all of us are all in the same boat, in the sense that we're all totally committed to this. You know, another thing that I need to make is that I have got crypto tokens, as have Mandy, for money that we've invested in the company. And I've made a point to that for every pound that I've invested in the company, I have received one crypto token, just like anybody else. I need to make the point that, and that's the same thing has happened with everybody's invested. What we have done with the programmers, because of the years that they've committed to it, we've created an environment whereby we have positioned the programmers with a parcel of Frega crypto tokens each. There is a sort of an earn-out sort of arrangement that over a period of time they're going to be able to realize it. But the programmers are totally committed to making Frega successful. And we, you know, at the end of the day, we all are in the same boat. I just really wanted to cover that. And under the same circumstances, I'd love to have done things a bit faster. But you know what? At the end of the day, I believe there's a lot of new people coming to our space. There's a lot of decisions we've taken along the way. And I'm really looking forward to the next couple of months. And certainly from 2019, it's going to be very, very exciting. So I just needed to sort of cover that. We are going to cover it in some detail on Frega World, where we're going to sort of demonstrate that whatever we say we're going to do, we do. But I just needed to cover that. Okay. So let's just see if there's any questions, Carol.
Yes, there are some questions, Patty.
Okay. All right. I'll just go through them, Carol.
Okay.
Okay. First of all, on Yoti, yeah, if you don't, they do mobile, but they also do a web-based one, Heather. So if you don't have a mobile phone, you can also do it on a web-based laptop. You know. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Then it says, is there a date set for the Wales Music Festival? No, nothing yet. And right now we've been sort of focused on just getting all our current functionality out of the way. But certainly, once we've got this sort of behind us, I'm busy planning our sort of American trip. And then I'll be sort of also looking at the next. Obviously, the next Wales thing. Look, we'll just see how it goes. But at this stage, we don't have any definitive dates. Mand and I will be meeting next week with discussing our Jamboree big session we want to do in June next year in London. But again, we'll have some sort of dates next week from Amanda and I will chat through as well. Okay. From Derek Elliott, looking forward to get the brilliant opportunity rock and rolling. Thank you, Derek. I really appreciate it, mate. Let's see. Oh, there's another one here. What happens to members who don't have a mobile phone? Yeah, I've covered that. It will be. You can do it on a laptop as well, Angela. However, if you like that. Patty, when will Frega Mobile be ready with Icovita specials advertising? Frega Mobile, I can't see that being ready until around about mid-October. We've got about 6 weeks still, and I've consciously sort of held back on getting too much of the stuff out for the simple reason we want to add a lot more functionality in it, and it is the app, so I can't see that coming out before mid-October, but there will be a lot of other stuff obviously coming out before that, Kevin. But when it does come out, it will deliver the Icovita specials at the same time, but we will have a lot of good stuff in there, you know. So you did these happy, thanks this a week ago, and very happy. Thanks, Rob. I appreciate that, mate. You know, it has been, yeah, it's been a difficult one for us, but at the end of the day, you know, it is what it is, and but I am very, very happy that I look forward to that everybody who made that commitment to be part of Realstu and part of Frega now are going to actually get entirely what they're fully entitled to get. You know, obviously liquidity of the market is important. While they wouldn't be able to sell off the £32,000 worth of tokens now or their investment, what you will discover is as we head towards the end of the year and we start getting a lot more numbers in place, you know, they're going to be able to unlock a fair bit of value, and we will achieve everything we set out to achieve. So I'm very excited about that. That was an excellent report, Anita. Great. If there's nothing else, I don't know, Steve, if there's anything else from your side you want to sort of say,
No, I think this was great. Just we can talk later, but are we still all set for tomorrow's on you know what?
Yes. Oh, yes. Contract. Yes. I'll be. Yeah. Very much so. Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. And Anita, your side, is there anything else you want to say?
No, Patty, just thanks everyone for your continued patience with us. Please just bear with us a little bit longer. We've just got a few little teething issues to get through, and then we'll be home and ho. So we're doing our absolute best to just be guaranteed that, we sit here sometimes pulling our hair out, and we understand that you will be too. So thanks very much, everybody.
Sorry, is this meeting recorded? I was a bit late to grab the beginning of the meeting.
Yes, it is, Prosper, and we'll be able to send you a link afterwards. Yeah, we'll have it on the Frega Global site. We'll put it up there. Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay then.
Good.
Hi, Patty. Nigel here. I just typed a question. May I reiterate in voice?
Yes, certainly.
I don't know if it's quite displaying, and if it is, where to find it, but 2 items. I wonder if the Frega.world site will both display total funds accrued, and a list perhaps of friends and associates introduced. Where might we be with that?
Yeah, that will, Nigel, that's going to appear on the plan site. Okay, so what you'll do, we're going to put up a table called the Steuvel and the Numberville table. So what you'll end up with, you'll be able to see a 6-level structure that will show you how many people are linked to you through your registrations. So that will appear there. And it'll also show you money that you've earned on what you call the Steuvel table.
Is that about a week away?
No. That's, I don't know when, but we have designed it.
Not now.
Yeah, but that's where it will be. That's what I'm sort of saying. Okay.
Super. Thank you, Patty.
Okay, but we will be. It's very important to demonstrate it. Very, very much so. Okay. Good. I don't know, Carol, if you want to maybe mute the one call. Yeah, thanks. Right. Steve, you got that call later this morning. Okay. And I will certainly like to meet and greet, and I'll see you later on that. Okay. Okay. Good. But otherwise, if there's nothing else.
Thanks, Patty. Are you going to send me an email invite?
I have already on the forum, Steve. But I will send it to you as well. I'll email it to you as well. Yeah. Okay. Okay. But anyway, thank you very much, everybody.
There's some more questions.
Yes, sir.
Some more
Yes,
questions there.
Bye.
In the chat.
Yes, Kapil, yeah, your question is, sorry.
There's some more questions
Thank you,
there.
Carol, do you want to sort of mute the one call? Prosper's.
There's.
Okay. Carol, Kapil, you had another question, you say. Yeah, Patty. Okay, let's go and see if there's one more question here from Kapil. Let's see if I can find it. These asked is a date for music was that around the same time some of the members in the Philippines organizing Music Fest would be great to have the same date, maybe have a video link. Okay, let's keep that in mind once we know the dates, Kapil, and we'll see what can be organized, my friend. Okay, but thank you for that. And then there was a private question posed about, is there going to be a revamp visibility API with regard to Amazon and eBay? Right now, it's not that apparent. Yeah, we're going to make it on something to trade. There's quite a bit of work to be done on that, and we will bring to people's attention that you can use that to buy your Amazon and eBay purchases. But that's the type of thing we'll still have to do. But there is a lot of work that we're busy doing that's going to make it a lot easier. Okay. Good, but that was very good. I'm very happy we had that discussion. And Carol, enjoy the rest of your holiday, your trip, and we look forward to making this really successful. And thanks very much for a week. It was a tough week, and I really appreciate that extra hours, more than hours. Well, you not that you ever have any hours left, I don't think, in the day, but I really appreciated what you did, Nita. I appreciate it so much. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Bye,
Okay.
everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Hey, thanks, everyone.
Wait.